another live session with Keya McLean, the poet, and
Shi Arnold, the therapist.
Boom. See them letters? You see them letters? See them letters right there? Them letters mean something. Them letters. She did that thing. She did
That's
that
right.
Thing. She is qualified. Okay. We always do our disclaimer. You know, these are our opinions, our experiences, our thoughts. And Shamika comes with educational background. Okay? So she ain't just playing with this thing. She knows what she's talking about. And your specialized area is what?
What do you mean special? Oh, like cognitive behavior, like cognitive behavioral? Well, I do CBT, but I kind of use a lot of different things. But CBT, and I want to get trained in EMDR, trauma therapy, teens, couples, marriage. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted her to tell y'all, like, the types of therapy she does and the type of clients she works with.
Yes.
Because, it's a real thing around these pods. It's a real thing. So welcome, everybody, this evening. Welcome to another Tuesday Live with Keya McLean, the poet, and Shamika Arnold, the DAR therapist. We are excited to be here with you all. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, I had a guest co-host with me. My girlfriend Tony was with me a couple of weeks ago, and it was nice to have a guest co-host. And Shamika is back with me.
I'm back.
She had her free night. You know, she had her night off. I was
like,
see
Janet Jackson.
Control. What? You taking off? And then she was like, yeah, cousin, I'm taking off to go see Janet Jackson. I was like, girl, go for it. Please, auntie. Go see the Janet and the Jackson.
Control. Now I'm all grown up.
Please go see the Janet and the Jackson. So we are excited about tonight's topic. It's a great topic. In fact, what I want to do, if you all will bear with me just a few seconds here, one of the things I want to do is be sure to get people on the live with us on both the Instagram side and the YouTube side. And so I'm going to send out an invite to some people on the Instagram side. And if you are watching now, if you will do the same, if you will just politely hit the share button, that would be very much appreciated, darling.
Share video. Let me share it.
Yeah, so because it don't cost us nothing. It don't take a whole lot of work, but we want to impart upon you the importance of sharing. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
All right. So it's extremely important because for whatever reason, I can't get into my my Instagram. Hold on, y'all.
I'm gonna go behind the veil. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, y'all. So forgive me because I wanted to share because this is going to be such a great conversation this evening, and I don't want anyone to miss out on this conversation. We're going to get very transparent with you all this evening. This is going to be a very vulnerable conversation, and so that's why.
Aren't they all?
Aren't they all?
Aren't they all?
So I wanted to just take a few extra seconds to go out and share further with our community. Now, as always, what do? Shamika, I'm going to have you read the comments again because my phone is a little distant from me.
Junior Lily said, what's up? Sup, fam?
What up? Here's the hourglass. Y'all know how we do with the hourglass. We get started with the hourglass and we stop with the hourglass. So let's get this thing started. What are we talking about today? Dun, 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 dun. All right. Sometimes we are accepting the lowest bids, right? We're embracing and accepting people and things that may not necessarily be the best for us.
Yeah.
Many of us have been there before, right? And many of us don't tend to talk about those things because it can be quite embarrassing to admit that you made some really bad decisions. And so Shamika and I are going to share some things tonight. I'm definitely going to share. And this is what brought about the conversation. So I was talking to someone yesterday, and they had shared with me that they made a mistake by going back to an ex. And as a result of that, we talked about, I knew what happened that ended that relationship. So we began to talk about, you know, I know that this happened and I should have never done this again. And, you know, she was really beating herself up about it. And in that moment, I just extended grace and I said, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Said, you made a decision, right? And we're not going to even call it a mistake, right? We're not going to even call it a mistake. You made a decision that led you to a space of understanding that you were going to move in a different direction. Now, what's different about that? Because last year, that wouldn't have been the decision that you would have made. So I call that growth. And I call that understanding and beginning to do the work on yourself, because it was a year ago when you broke this off. A year later, I can tell that there's been some growth and there's been some healing, because you don't even see that situation the same. You're not even talking about that situation the same way. So there's definitely
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, there's been some self-awareness. Right?
That's beautiful. Yes. And you stopped her from shaming herself.
Yeah. So she kept, she kind of kept being in that energy for a minute until I told her, you don't even talk the same. You don't even look the same when you talk about him. So I can attest to the fact that this ain't the same situation. You're not the same person. So give yourself grace so that you can grow from this.
Yes.
Because this is the thing that you wanted to happen. Right. So that you can actually connect with the person you want to connect with. The reason why.
Close that door.
Yeah. We when other people are raising their paddles and we just walking up, oh, I take it. 99 cents. 79 cents, right? I'm just using dollar amounts. I'm not saying anybody's worth this. Right. Example, please don't get in your feelings about it. I'm not saying you're worth 99 cents. I'm only using this as an analogy.
Right.
So sometimes we're seeing these numbers, or we're seeing who's standing there with it. And we get excited about that. But what we don't recognize is understanding that we need to know our worth. Right? You have to know your worth, because if someone was to say, think about this, and I want you to think about some of the most expensive places. Babe, if you can put that on the screen for me. This is so important for you to understand and know what your worth is. If you think about what some of the most expensive places, just think of some of the most expensive places you ever been to. When you go in there, and I'll just use a restaurant for an example. When you don't see a price on the side of that dish, okay, let's just talk about it. You already know I'm getting ready to spend some monties, okay? Because there ain't no price there. They just like, you wouldn't be here.
Right.
You wouldn't be here if you can't afford these dishes.
Right.
Right? So I need for us, men and women, to understand that if we're walking around with a specific price tag, people already know how to come to us. Do you understand that?
I
because
love that.
If I'm showing up as 99 cents, and again, I'm not saying you're worth 99 cents, but if I'm showing you not, 99-cent energy,
not knowing your worth is 99 cents. You're 99-cent energy. If you don't know your worth, you're 99-cent energy. You dollar general energy.
You dollar general energy, right? Now let me go into my next point before I have my cousin speak on and analyze some of this for us and go a little deeper with us. When she shared this story with me, later in the day, I began to think about my own shit. Okay? Which is why I believe grace was extended to her, because I've been there. Right? And I ain't try to be holier than thou, and I didn't try to judge her, and I ain't try to make her feel bad. I listened and I was like, I've been in this place. I understand what that's like. I recognize that. And so what happened for me is, just last week, I got a phone call from somebody that I've known for nearly 30 years. And this man and I would go back and forth, dealing with each other, not dealing with each other, dealing with each other, not dealing. This happened for nearly 30 years. If he had a break, he called me. If I had a break, I called him. That's what we did, right? And he said something to me when he called me, and he said, yeah, I know you get married and all again, but you ain't going nowhere.
Right.
When he said that, it really gave me an understanding of where I positioned myself in the past. It was very awakening for me to discover, realize, and understand that someone felt that my worth was 99-cent worth energy. Oh, I can be with you anytime I want. I don't care what you got going on in life. I know we ain't seen each other. We ain't been around each other in X amount of years, but
you still the same person.
I still can get you. You the same person, right? So yeah, 99 cents. So if that's the energy, this is what I always say. People, and what did I say earlier, cousin? Let me look at my notes, because I want to repeat it exactly the way I said it to you. People already know what's inside of you, even when you don't know. Even like, I may have been 99 cents at one point, but now I'm 1.5 million. You see what I'm saying? So, but you knew 99 cent version,
right?
So you don't understand.
Oh, I love it.
Even though you knew I had 1.5 million all up inside of here,
right?
You knew it,
right?
It's always been there,
yeah.
But I wasn't showing up in my 1.5 million energy,
right?
I wasn't showing up in my billionaire energy.
Yes,
I was showing up in my 99 cent energy, right?
Yeah.
So again, the point is to say, you know, we oftentimes have to understand that in order for people to meet us at that level, because let's talk about what we talked about, cousin. Everybody used to approach us, right? Everybody used to approach us at some point.
Right.
Now, we very rarely.
He said these dudes out here bargain shopping.
Out here bargain shopping. Out here bargain shopping.
Bargain shopping.
So, when you think about
I love that.
The reality of it is, we're getting exactly what we're putting out.
Yes. Yes.
And until we change the energy and the perception of ourselves, and going back to knowing your worth.
Junior Lily said Ross.
he giving them something better though, because I was thinking goodwill.
Yes.
I was
yes.
thinking goodwill. I mean, because sometimes we go that low, right?
Right.
We just thrifting ourselves.
Man.
We going from here to here to there to there to just thrifting ourselves.
Yeah.
And so, like, this is a very serious thing. And I know we're joking about it, but it's a very deep thing, because think about the fact when I think back to how much I didn't understand the worth of the woman that I was. When I think about that very deeply, that is like painful. Honestly, that is painful to know that I was showing up in that type of energy, and why I had to go deep and do the type of work that I've had to do to understand and step fully in my worth.
Yes.
Understand exactly who I am,
yes.
and what my purpose is. And, and not be concerned with what he said and she said and
right.
they said, and just stand in my power.
Right.
Because the reality of it is, as I already stated, they already know who you are before you get to a place of knowing who you are. If they can keep you in that energy down here, that's where they want you to be.
That's where they want you to be. That's where they want you to be. Yeah. I was reading something where it said narcissists, like usually the people that narcissists pick are very like you said, like our $1.5 million people, and they want to bring them down and keep them at that 99-cent level.
Yep.
They know, they see their worth. They see that worth in them, and they bring it down. Trash you, make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think I like that example of them trying to take you from 1.5 down to 99 cents, right?
I see your worth. I see the diamond you are, but I'm gonna make you glass. Okay. I make you feel like glass though. That's my goal. To make you feel like glass, so that way I can shine.
Yeah, that's good. And that's so important, because it's important for you to understand and recognize, because if you don't, what you'll do is you'll continue to diminish your self-worth. You'll continue to be at the level where they get to completely benefit.
Right.
You get no benefit whatsoever from it. And then you start wondering, like, what am I even getting out of this? You know, like, I'm not even getting anything out of this, and I feel like I got chosen, but really, I didn't.
Did I though? Right.
Right. Like, okay, they saw you and they raised the their bidding hand and said, "Oh, 99 cents.
I got it.
I got it."
Right.
Matter of fact, I can get 5 of them.
Right.
At
that
rate.
Right.
So now he or she is juggling 5, 6 people, because that's an affordable bid for them.
Yeah.
They can play with you when you didn't put yourself down that low. They can play with 4 or 5 of us.
Right.
4 or 5 of us is at the 99-cent level of energy, and they're like, "Oh, I can go over here, I can go over there, I can do this, I can do that."
Bargain, like you said, bargain shopping. I'm gonna get this one over here, this one over there.
That's why it's goodwill. It's thrift shopping. I'm shopping for used. Wow. That's why I said this is deeper than
right? How you value yourself. Like, I'm just gonna take anything.
I'm just gonna take. And when I sat with that, I mean, if I had to have a cutoff point where I sat there sad about my decisions. Right. I had to have a cutoff point, because I couldn't sit there too long.
Right.
I don't want to dwell on those past mistakes
and feel guilt and all that stuff.
What you say?
I said, and I feel all that guilt and stuff and shame and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. So I want to learn from it, and I want to help others to not make those same vital mistakes. Man. But it's important. I had to sit with that.
Yeah.
I had to sit with the fact that I I was putting out 99-cent energy.
Wow. You know how many of us are doing that? You know how many of us are doing that, putting out 99-cent energy?
This extends beyond relationships. This extends across the board. What type of energy are you putting out there? Because that is what people are going to see. And that's what people are going to come and say, shit, I got $1.
Right.
I got $1.
Right.
So we have to be careful about understanding what's the risk, what's the reward. What is the risk and what is the reward? What am I doing here? Right? Because the risk is he or she can afford 4 or 5 of me's.
Man.
So if they can afford 4 or 5 of me's, what is my risk? What risk do I put myself at?
Wow.
What is the reward in being embraced by somebody that see me as 99 cents?
Right.
So we have to be very careful about locking into paying attention to those things, because if we don't, we'll find ourselves like blaming other people because they did this to us and they did that to us. We become the victims. But in reality, all we have to do is change our worth. Change your worth.
Yes.
It's women and it's men out here that's just, okay, 99 cents, here I come.
Here I am, and here I am. I'm 99 cents. Wow.
So I sat with that and I said, this man, almost 30 years later, still had this perception
of who you were,
of who I was, because I was that person at one point. I was, right? So he hasn't seen me. He hasn't seen my growth. He hasn't seen the transitions. He hasn't seen any of it. So as far as he knew, he thought he was going to be able to pick up where we left off. Why? Because I let his ass do it for the 20 years before.
Right.
So this is the part where you got to get honest and real with yourself. Now, if you want to sit there and you want to act like I ain't never done nothing like that, I ain't never been 99 cents. That's great. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, and I honestly am. But I think like we have to be honest with the fact that either you were 99 cents or you abused someone that showed up in 99 cent energy. That I can
As she sips her tea. Wow.
What you got, cousin?
Wow.
I'm gonna stop there. I got some more, but I'm gonna stop right there.
It just makes me think back, it like, even though we talked earlier, I think because I was driving and distracted, but I was listening, but just, wow, like accepting the minimal, accepting the minimal. Like you said, there was no value in me choosing this person. I gave them the value. I was the value for them. I was the value for them. And even like you said, it doesn't even just mean romantic relationships, also friendships. I just had this situation where I had to talk to you about somebody that showed back up in my life and then still saw me as who I used to be, and then tried to make me feel bad or something, whatever that feeling is, that yucky feeling that make you feel like when somebody's talking to you, you're like, wait, why am I feeling like this? What's going on? You're like, what is this? That's how I felt. And I was like, cousin, okay, I need you to help me with this. Because I have to call you and be like, what is this? And you was like, nah, cousin. I'm like, nah. But it was that she only saw me because at one point I valued her, right? I valued her opinion. I valued her ideas. Even I've done this in relationships where I valued their thoughts. And I'm like, oh, And in my head, in some aspect of me, I thought they were better than me, right? In some aspect of my thought, even though I'm like, oh, I'm the bomb, whatever. But in some aspect, I put them on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
I placed them above me.
And they know that you're doing that.
Mm-hmm. And they know, because that's what they could do. And that's why, like you said, that's why they can keep coming back. And you know, I've had to block people because they thought that they can keep coming back.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I blocked that person because that's not who I am anymore. I'm not that. And then whatever you were trying to do, that passive aggressive thing, wasn't okay. Because I'm 1.5 million.
Yep. Yep.
I'm 1.5 million. And I'm not gonna allow you. I'm not gonna allow you. I'm not going to choose to allow you to take me back to that. But I had to, at some aspect, I had to face that, you know. Marcus said, evolve every day and unveil the better you every day. I love that. And that's the thing. And so when we talk about healing, this is healing, is that acknowledgement.
Yep.
Is that acknowledgement, right? It's not the fact that you went back. It's the fact that you went back and was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Hold on. Right?
Exactly.
It's the acknowledgement, like, I don't want this anymore.
Yep.
And the thing is that we abuse ourselves more than we make ourselves feel more bad about the choice, instead of identifying, man, look, I'm not in that space anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not in that space anymore. Let me celebrate me for not being in that space anymore. We're so used to tearing ourselves down. We're so used to bringing ourselves back down, like, oh, I messed up again. You know? But it's like, what about the awareness that you got from that choice?
Yes. Because what did I say? I said, I had to, like, give myself a certain amount of time to sit in that energy. Like, girl, what you're not getting ready to do is sit up here and ridicule, criticize, and demean yourself for the next 36 hours or whatever.
Right.
You know, I gave myself space to understand where I was, and then forgive myself and move on. Because I'm not
forgive. Exactly.
What you just said is dead on. That is where healing is, y'all. That's the space where healing is. People think healing is this. I really need us to debunk this shit. That is not what healing is. Stop it. Cut this out. Not. Stop thinking that healing is this beautiful land of blossoms and sunflowers. And
no, and it's setting boundaries. Somebody setting boundaries means you got to pull your panties up and get your firm voice and be like, this won't happen again. Right? That's setting boundaries, because I love me. Healing is I love me so much that I won't let this happen again.
And we know what healing is, because before I kept making excuses for that bad behavior.
Man. What he really meant was, I did that. What he really meant was, that's not what he meant. He meant exactly what he said.
The reality is, we need to, when we start to acknowledge and have the awareness, healing.
Yes.
We are healing.
Love Bria Love said that usually says more about the other person, right? Them assuming nothing's changed. Okay, nothing's changed. Not to give the other person power, but I never assume someone hasn't grown or matured. That's good.
And that's even a higher level of self-awareness, right? Because to be honest,
you stuck right where you are.
I'm gonna be more transparent using what Bree just said. That is, I had thought about when you told me about your friend reaching out to you that you hadn't spoken to in years. I had considered reaching out to an old friend of mine. But now when I consider shit that I left behind, I just have to write it out. Why do I want to go back and revisit this shit? Why? What is the
Because we assume, because then we also assume that they've grown and they've changed. But that's not always the truth.
Well, or we assume that they're still in that same space. And that's what I did. Right. I assumed that she was probably in that same space. So I was like, well, maybe this time around I could help her, and I could.
Oh, and Captain Save.
I had that moment because that's always who I've been. Yeah. I've always been like, well, I can help, and I can help, and I'm this, and I know, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the reason why the friendship ended was because I couldn't tolerate the space that I couldn't even tolerate the space she was in. What would make me think that is a friendship that I can revisit?
Go back to, right.
I already knew the outcome.
Right.
But that was me assuming that she was still in the same space. What if she's evolved? What if she's done some healing? Right? And so I like what Bree said for that particular reason. It's because sometimes we tend to think one way or the other. Right. That they haven't grown at all, or they have done some growing. But either way, for me, it's important that I just keep it moving. Right? I send you love and light and peace and
all of that.
Abundance and all of that. But I'm moving forward. Right? Because for whatever reason, that is where the season ended for us. That's where the chapter closed. And so I received that. I mean, there's only been one person that I've reconnected with like that, a friend. And I don't, that's just something that's difficult to do a lot of times, because even if they've grown, you may have grown even more. They may have only took, 2 steps in the growth direction. And then now you're trying to have to navigate through understanding each other again. It's a lot. So I just choose people that I feel I can resonate a lot more.
He said, Cleo said, how could I go back and think we moving forward?
Yep. That's good,
wow.
Cleo.
That was good.
True.
That's
good. So good.
Yeah, that was good.
That's so good. What are we doing? And why are we doing it? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Why? And so that's why I said, I had got someone accustomed to me not loving myself enough and me not having the self-worth for 20 years that believed that, I've been in Dallas for 8 years, that believed 8 years later, I'm still in that same space.
Right.
Because in his mind, oh, she the same. And he kept saying, I never, ever, ever thought you would go anywhere. I never, ever thought he said, I never could see a day when you would go anywhere.
Wow.
That's why it hit me so hard. Like, oh, girl. Oh, hey. How did you get to the 99-cent right there? Woo, baby. That hurt me though, to my core. It hurt me. Woo. And then I even had to talk to my baby about it. I was like, baby, let me tell you about this conversation I had with this man. But that's another thing too that I absolutely love is I'm in a relationship with somebody I can even have
that conversation with. He said and Marcus said you can show him better than you can tell him.
That's right, babe.
I love it.
I'll show you better than I tell you. How do we find our value? How do we find
And I feel like this is a conversation we have every time we're on here. It goes back to that. It goes back to finding your worth.
Yeah.
Finding that you're the treasure. Like even asking people, like again, it goes back to asking people, what do they like? Like we would get so caught up in relationships, we don't even know what we like. Like, what do I like to do? What makes me smile? What makes me feel good? What makes me, feel joy?
I don't even think it was a month now. You can remind me if it was a month ago or not. But I asked the question to the closest people to me. And I said, why do you love me? Now, I don't ask that question for validation of the love, because I asked the question. I already knew you loved me. So I don't need I know that you love me already. So that's not the purpose of the question. Sometimes we find out more about our value, because this is different than our work. Find out something different about our value when you ask the people that are closest to you. What is my value to the closest people to me?
Mm.
How do I show up to the closest people to me?
Mm.
The most amazing thing that happened is the closest people that I asked that question to all said very similar things to me.
Mm.
Right? They all said very similar things.
You want to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay, Sudi's girl said, that's it. We get lost in others and forget about what's important to me. Capital
Yep.
N, capital E.
Yep. So knowing your value is sometimes connected to those who value you. I can't tell you what my value is to other people.
Right.
Only other people can tell me what my value is.
Yes.
Right? So you shared with me what my value was. My best friend shared with me what my value was to them. And really, that's all I shared with. I asked the question of you and my two best friends.
Uh-huh.
What is my value? All of you all said very, very similar things, right? Which I thought was dope because I was like, oh, that's how I show up to all of them, right?
I love it.
So, but my worth is determined by me. It's determined by what I'm feeding myself, how I care for myself, what I say to myself. And when you put all of those things together, that's why I don't go on no 99-cent shelf no more. The number is high.
Exactly.
And when I say this, I mean it with all sincerity and all confidence.
Right.
You will never see me on the 99-cent shelf again. To be in my space, to be in my energy is gonna cost. And it ain't gonna cost you no money, but it's gonna cost you. You have to reciprocate to me. Right. I'm not giving no more to people. You have to I have to say you're deserving to be in this energy. And that's how you should be speaking when you have high worth, high self-worth.
Yes.
That's how you should be speaking about yourself.
If I can come to you and talk to you, then I should be able to come. You should be able, like, it should be reciprocated. It should be reciprocated. It should be reciprocated. What I can give, I want you to give too.
We're not shrinking. I ain't going on discount. I won't be discounting my gifts, my purpose, my light. I won't be discounting none of it.
That's right.
And so my worth is very clear now. And if you can't afford that, that's okay. I get it. Right? And when you, just like the restaurant, when you see the menu and there ain't no number by it, that's how I show. You don't even have an idea. I don't even know how much she's worth.
Right.
I know it's expensive.
Right.
To enter in that space.
And when I walk in, first of all, when I walk in the space, right? First of all, when I walk in the space, you know my worth when I walk in the space now, because I know my worth. My whole energy shifts the space.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My whole energy shifts the space. That's why, and it's so funny, like you said, most people, and it's so funny because I be like, not a lot of men approach me. Yeah. Not a lot of men approach me. You know,
but at some point, everybody was approaching us, right?
Man, all kinds of walks of life.
So don't tell me that. Don't tell me that don't make a difference with your energy,
right?
Because what used to be is not the case anymore.
It's not. It's not. My walk is different. My talk is different. Okay.
That sound like you was about to preach.
Right.
Right. And most can't afford. Exactly.
Man.
Most. This is why you got to remove your energy from places, from people, places, and things. Because what you're saying, when you show up everywhere to everybody, you're accessible to everything and everybody. What you're saying is, I'm on the 99-cent shelf. Everybody can get access to this. No. And I'm not just talking about sexually. I'm talking about my energy.
My energy, just me, my time.
I'm talking about my time. I'm talking about my gifts.
Right.
I'm not showing up for everybody.
He said from Ross to Neiman Marcus. I don't think the young folks know Neiman Marcus, though. I don't think they know Neiman Marcus. The young people don't know that.
But you can't be playing with yourself.
Man.
You cannot. And because I did it for so long, really, I just want to encourage people who have the opportunity to pivot from that energy, to pivot from that low self-esteem to rising and knowing who you are and developing the skills to know your worth.
And you know, when I think about, because when I think about where I was when I didn't know my worth, I was in a space of needing to be seen, of needing to have a man see me, right? Of needing that attention, of needing that, right?
Yeah.
Helen Kelly said, "Hey, ladies." Hello.
Hey, Lena.
And so when my focus was on needing that attention, then I would do things to accommodate them.
Yeah.
Right. So
drop your worth.
So now, because now my focus is on you. Now my focus, everything is about you. Nothing's about me. You know, and so I would do things to prove, look, I'm good enough. Right in that space right there. That's a 99-cent space.
Yep.
Look, I'm worth something. I am worth something. Look at me, look at me. But when you know you're worth something, you never have to prove it. You just are it. You just are it. You just be it. You just be it. That's it. And so there's no need. And so when you walk in the space, your space is like, I am amazing.
Yep.
I'm amazing. For you to come around me, you're going to feel this energy, right?
Yep.
You're going to feel me in this space. You're going to feel this energy. You're going to feel how amazing I am. That does not mean that does not mean that you will stay here. Okay. It does not mean, because if it's not reciprocated, then there's no need.
Look, I want us to get to that place where people are like, I want you to say, who does she think she is? Say it. Say it. I am worth 1.5 minimally. I'm worth 1.5 million. Right. No more 99 cents this way.
No more 99 cents.
You don't even get access. People don't even get access to me anymore. The same ways they used to.
Man.
What?
Wow.
My phone will be on D&D without a care in the world. If you ain't on the favorites list.
For real, right.
You ain't getting in.
Right.
And why is that? Because when you understand and know your worth, like, this is something I'm really passionate about, because for way too long, I did not understand and move in my amazing energy. I shrank myself. I allowed people to mistreat me. I cared too much about what people thought, said, and felt. All of those things led to me diminishing my worth. So I don't play about that shit now. I do not play. Goodbye, good riddance. Because people will play all day long in your face and then expect for you to deal with that low vibrational shit. No, don't come around here with that. We healing around here.
Right. Dimming. We're not dimming our light. We're not dimming our light. We're not turning it down.
Like, turn down for what?
Right.
You know, these cousin. Remember I said I can't really read the screen, right?
Right.
Because far back, I need a new prescription. But guess what? These glasses are transitional. I can walk outside and the sun can hit them and the sunglasses gonna pop in, right?
Right, okay.
So what my point is I'm not shutting the light down.
Right.
In fact, I can be sitting here by myself and the shades start to appear because my light is too bright for me. Sitting down in the room. Cousin, do you hear me?
Right.
I'm sorry, babe. It was a comment up there. I need cousin.
That was Marcus. Marcus says walk in the room with a little stank on it. He said, LOL, I am high value.
High value, baby. High value. And that's gonna trigger people. That's gonna trigger people.
Khalil said, my wife calls it BDE, big energy. That's right. Yes. Oh gosh, that's amazing when a man walk in there with the BDE.
Right. And you can tell it.
And he don't even say nothing. He have to say
Don't
nothing.
Say a word.
Don't say a word. He just walk in the room.
Ain't even got to look at you. Just walk in the room.
You like, whoop, who is that? You feel it. You don't even know who it was. Hold on, wait, somebody in here got BDE.
You almost made me spit out my damn pizza. Look here. And the thing is, this is how you know most people can't deal with it, because most people are going to be triggered by you walking around as a high value. Most people.
And it's a lot of men out here. And y'all have to, oh gosh. And be aware, women, because there's a lot of men out here that don't like us. Don't like us at all. Do not walk in that space, because they will be so, triggered just because you walked in with your head held up.
Yep.
He said, don't wear them hoochie daddy shorts. Do not. Don't wear them. Marcus said, wear your hoochie daddy shorts proudly. Don't do that. Don't wear them.
What?
He said, wear your hoochie daddy shorts, the little shorts that the men be wearing. Don't wear them. That's not BDE.
Please,
that's BDE.
Please don't do that.
I don't think that's BDE. He said she just explained it to me the other day.
Look.
And she's a professional, and Cleo's wife is a professional dick gazer. So I'll take her word for it, okay?
Seal of approval.
Exactly.
But okay, like the time is running low, y'all.
Okay.
We're gonna see if anybody has any questions, if anybody has any comments before we close out with some closing comments and statements. But if anybody has any questions, if you got comments, if you want to just talk about how this may or may not have resonated with you. I told y'all we was gonna get transparent, we was gonna be vulnerable about our own situations. And so I definitely did want to share, like, that was such a learning that was a learning moment for me, right? And a learning moment about my healing.
Like even. Awareness.
Yeah. So I learned a lot even about my healing journey and where I was, because I was even at a place. This is how dope it is. This is how dope my healing journey is. I was at a place where I started to berate myself and feel bad about my decision that I made for 20 years.
Back then.
And then I was like, but hold up, but you ain't her no more.
Right.
Right? You've done the work.
Not there no more.
You don't even have to dwell on
We haven't got to go back there. We haven't got to go back there. It's gone. And that moment is gone. That moment is no longer there. Sudie's girl said, I needed this. Thank you both. Mwah.
I'm glad you needed it, Fee, and we were here to provide. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we have to give ourselves grace and understand that anything that we have gone through has been a beneficial lesson for us. If that's how you want to see it,
yes.
Or you can see it that you're the victim and life is horrible and whatever.
It's your choice. You have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom to choose. You said what?
I said, tell them again.
Oh, it's your choice. It's your choice. You have the freedom to choose. Isn't that amazing? That's so amazing that every choice you make, everything in your life is because you chose it. Okay, it's a few things. It might be a little few things when you was a little younger that something happened and you didn't choose that. But everything, what if everything in your life you've chosen, and what if you can choose something different in this moment? Picture me, MK says, yes, this was a great conversation.
That's my bomb photographer, y'all.
I love that. Picture me, MK. I love that.
That's my bomb photographer. Hey, girl, hey. But yeah, so I'm glad that you all found some value in this conversation tonight. We're gonna continue to have, very transparent, vulnerable, honest conversations with you all, with the hopes that it helps someone, because that's what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
It's about us helping each other to grow and to heal and to evolve. My evolving started from me looking at somebody else and recognizing that I can do exactly what she did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can do it my own way,
Right.
but I can do this. If she did it, and with all the things that she shared that she had overcome, I can surely do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can look at me and Shamika, and if we resonate with you as we share our stories and we share experiences, like glean from the fact that you got two sisters that ain't here to judge you, that's not here to ridicule you. We here to give you love and grace and forgiveness, and all of that.
In fact, we're gonna stop you from ridiculing yourself. We're not doing that. We're not even doing that. We're not even allowing that to occur. For what? For what? If we want to do growing and growth, what we doing? What we doing that for? We not. We building people up. We building as we build ourselves up, we building you up.
And let me say something, y'all. I just want, this is like my little, I'm gonna kind of get off on a little tangent a little bit. Don't be a mean girl. Right? You see another woman struggling with something, struggling and enduring something, don't be a mean girl. Right? Because at the very beginning, for those that missed what I said in the beginning, this conversation came to my mind as a result of someone sharing their mistake with me, which caused me to think about the phone call that came through for me, which, you know, so it all kind of trickled to this. And when she said to me, I already know what you're going to say, that is because she's so used to other women knocking her down. She's used to telling a story and another sister saying, you stupid. But that's not what I did. I held space for her, right? I held space for her to share her story, to listen, to not judge her, right? And then to tell her, girl, I understand. But I also see you're not in the same place you
were. I see the growth.
And I'm happy for you. And you don't even understand how far you've come. And that lit her up. She was like, what? What? Like, she kept trying to beat herself up.
Right.
She's like,
what?
I was pointing it out. I was like, girl, look what you did. And you said this to him. And you did this. And you're growing more than you even know it. And I saw her eyes light up. That meant everything to me. That meant everything. And I didn't tear that sister down. And she's going to remember that. Now she's going to continue to deal with that in a totally different way. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have got on her head, because when she told me what he did last year, I was like, look here, bitch, don't you dare talk to him. A-game. Okay? A-game. I was on her head. But I'm telling you, when she was telling me the story yesterday, I'm looking at her face and she was just like, she said, I don't even feel the same way. And he did this, and I immediately said, I'm done. She said, this is what she said that really let me know. She said, when he left, I didn't call or text him. I sat with myself and processed what had just happened. It's the healing. You're healing.
That's it, right there. That's it. That's it. Right there.
That's the space that people don't know that's called healing.
It's
not the roses and the sunflowers running through the high grass. That was the moment of healing.
That was it.
I felt so good for her. Like, you see how excited I am now. I felt good for her because I was like, girl, that's healing right there. You were able to identify that. You didn't call him, cuss him out, do all this drama. No, baby. You can't get my peace.
And done. I'm
just good.
And done. No worries.
She said, so now he's blocked again on everything. And she says, and now I'm going to do something I really don't want to do, but this is to show myself how serious I am. My number gets changed.
Wow. And done. In scene.
So you serious. Gotcha. You ain't playing with this man at all.
Yes.
So I didn't get to move through any more of my notes, but if anybody else has questions or comments, concerns, if you want to talk to us in private, inbox us, and we can talk from there. But I'm so glad that you all tuned in tonight. We appreciate you all support. Yeah. We appreciate the energy and the engagement tonight. What you got, cuz?
You want me to close it out?
No.
No, not yet. Oh, okay, nothing. Oh, no. Sudi's girl said, give others grace as well. Yes. All of us need grace.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
We all need that.
Yes. No, this was good. This was a good conversation because this helped me even, like, I kind of was like, the 99-cent analogy. I was like, well, damn. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was good, cousin. That was good. And then it's good to see, like, because we're so, like, I'm such an advocate, like, for women and building them up and like, and pulling them and helping them see their gifts, their worth, and their healing journey, right? Showing them, like, you're not the same person you was. Remember, look it. Mm-hmm. Especially in a space that they didn't know they because they're like, oh, I messed up again. We do that so often.
Yeah.
And and that, man, yeah. I love it.
We don't give ourselves the grace we need to. And most of the times, like, and I'm talking about mean girls, but most of the time we mean girls to ourselves first.
Man.
Right? So it's much easier to be mean girl to other women when you already a mean girl to yourself. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
And I usually tell my clients, like, okay, the stuff you tell yourself, would you tell your little sister? Would you tell your children? Would you tell, like, a niece? Like, if you don't have no kids, would you tell your niece, your younger sibling? Would you tell them the same thing? Yeah. Then don't tell yourself that. Don't tell yourself that. Don't tell yourself something that you wouldn't tell somebody that you cared about.
Mm-hmm. And we recognize that's a struggle, y'all. And that's why, I do journaling coaching, because you have to practice. Your mind has to get used to this. Your mind's been doing this for a long time. Your mind has been diminishing who you are for a very long time. Your mind has been telling you, no, I ain't this and I ain't that, for a very long time. And now you have to reprogram yourself to understand, like, oh, I ain't that person. I am now this person, right? Thanks, babe, for putting that up. So, of course, my website link is dropped down below. You can go ahead and go out to the website, pick up one of my journals. It's a perfect gift for a loved one as well. But when you start to write and you're practicing this, and this is repetitive, your mind is absorbing this information, right? So if you're speaking nicely to yourself, lovingly to yourself, positively to yourself, this is going to begin to resonate with you. And your walk is going to be different. Your talk is going to be different. Yes. Everything is going to be different. And so, that's the part that I think, you want to focus on. Yes. And I hate to say this, because this sometimes prevents people from doing it, but the shit ain't easy. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. It's not easy, because you've been doing something for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, and you have to retrain your mind. Right. That's what, and so so this more, when I said I work with CBT, that's what CBT is, cognitive behavioral therapy. So it's changing the thoughts, changing the thoughts to change the behavior. And so you have to change. So the thoughts, because the thoughts you've been having, like you said, you've been having them thoughts for years, like, you're not good enough. Whoever told you when you was a kid that you wasn't good enough and that you wasn't important, that you wasn't valued, or show you that you weren't valued. And so in your head, you're like, I'm not valued. I'm not good enough. Whatever that is been there for years. So in order to retrain it, you have to retrain the brain to change that. We have to choose something, say something different. We have to take that out and replace it with something that's building you up. That's, first of all, that's the truth, not the lie. We got to take the lies out. You said you're doing training for that, or you already? No, when you said when you was like, what's your specialty? And I was like, CBT. But I was like, nobody knows what CBT is. Everybody might not know what that means. Cognitive behavioral therapy. And so what it is just reframing the thoughts and to change the behaviors. Okay. So.
It's a form of
cognitive behavioral
therapy. CBT. And so sometimes we've been bombarded with so much stuff that tear us down, and lies that are lies. Lies make you feel heavy and yuck. It's because it's lies. So all the lies you've been telling you stupid, you dumb, and you feel like, that's because it's a lie. When you're like, when it's the truth though, and you're like, man, I'm amazing. Then you're like, I am amazing.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I'm smart as shit. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you feel lighter because it's the truth. It's the truth.
Okay. Can we close out with you talking about light and heavy, and then you go into your regular closing?
Okay. So heavy is a lie. A lie always feels heavy. A lie always feels heavy. And the truth makes you feel lighter. So sometimes I'll get like when you're talking to somebody and somebody says something and you get the chills in your body, your whole body light up. That's because it's the truth. Right? And so when you speaking to yourself, if you're telling yourself you're not good enough, you're no good, nobody go want you with these kids. Nobody go, like, you start feeling heavier. And it brings you back to this. And that's like you start feeling down. And the more you keep speaking bullshit to yourself, you start feeling down and angry and irritable. And so that's because you keep lying to yourself. That's because it's all lies. And so what if the truth that you are amazing, that you are still a gift? You are a gift no matter what the trauma has happened to you. You are still a gift. No matter what has gone, that was then. And you're building yourself up now. If you listening to this, that's healing. That's healing if you even listening to this. That's the beginning of healing because you opening up something to say, I need a change. And so look do you feel lighter? Even me just saying that. Don't you feel lighter? That's because I'm telling the truth. Telling the truth, Ruth. So know that you got to stop lying to yourself. You are amazing. You are amazing. You wouldn't be here if you wasn't amazing. Sometimes people treat you bad because they don't want you to see how amazing you are. They want to keep you at 99 cents. They want to keep you at 99 cents. But you got to be like, I'm not 99 cents. And start with telling yourself. You don't got to tell them nothing. You can just block them and say, hey, I'm not 99 cents. Right? I'm 1.5 million.
Yep.
I'm starting off at 1.5 million. And I'm going to keep on going.
Yep. Start.
So yes. So receive all of that. Receive all of that.
Yeah. That's always good to hear. That's always
Yes. No Bible verse tonight.
You messy.
I got one. Don't play with me. I got one.
Don, you messy.
That was your husband. That was your fiance. Yes, we are. We're all amazing.
I thought that was Don being messy. That's my baby.
That was your no Bible verse tonight. He wanted to mess up.
Don't be messy with my cousin.
Because God said no. The devil is a lie. The truth ain't in him. Okay. Anyway.
Yes, we are all amazing. Absolutely.
Yes.
You got to believe it. You got to live it. You got to know it.
Know it.
You know, because, and again, you can't be concerned that you being amazing might piss people off or trigger people. You still got to be amazing.
Right. Yes. He said he beat me to it.
All right, y'all. Cuz go do her thing, cuz look what's happening.
Okay. So let's breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in everything that's light, everything that's joy, everything that's peace. 3, 4, 5. Breathe out all the lies. Get it out. Get it out. Oof. All the lies. Because all of life comes to us with ease and joy and glory. How does it get any better than this? And what else is possible? Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your comments. And we just appreciate you guys so much for listening to us and receiving.
Yes. I say.
Ashe.
Love.
Mwah.
inside of me.